Ow, 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 ow. Reconnect with your body. Ow, 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 ow. Reconnect with your body.
Hi everybody, Matthew Berner here, founder of Reconnect with Your Body. I'm here in Vienna dancing with Boris Shamatz and a big group of 25 dancers. And this morning, as I came out of my room and went to breakfast, I was talking with my dear friend Olga Dukhovnaya. She's quite an incredible woman, coming from Ukraine and becoming a successful performer, a choreographer, and also a successful mom and partner. And as I was helping her to find her passion and what she wanted to bring to the world, this time we went to a complete different level where we shoot an interview directly like this, in the wind, in the sun. And I got really moved and touched by her message. So I thought, let's just share it. Let me know what you think and share it if you like it, and put some comments, because she has a strong message to women, to mothers, and I think it could help a lot of people. See you very soon. Very excited to share with you all these tons of values and practical knowledge for empowering your life and practicing every day. Reconnect with your body. Like she said, and she created that song, Reconnect with your body. You might hear it often. Thank you very much, guy. Bye. Hi guys, here's Matthew Berner from Reconnect with Your Body, and today we have an improvised interview with Olga Dukhovnaya. Olga Dukhovnaya is a very famous dancer. She's coming from Ukraine and she makes her own dance pieces, and at the same time she has a son, a husband, and a flourishing family, and we've been sharing together some information, and I got really interested to know how is it possible to have both at the same time. Hi Olga.
Hi Matthew.
Thank you for this very improvised moment. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in maybe like how you came into France and how you started to develop your own work and how you made a successful business and family at the same time?
Well, first of all, I always knew that I want to have both because I love dancing. I was really into it. I did all this workshop and dance schools, but I always knew that I'm gonna have a family. It was out of question. I knew it. So I always knew in a way that I'm gonna have both. I believed in it from the very beginning. Because also my mother never worked. She's a housewife.
Yeah.
And so the whole childhood I was always observing it, and I was always thinking, this is not what I want. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be a businesswoman like my father and a loving woman like my mother. I'm gonna have both. And that's it, actually.
It's possible.
I think it's really possible. You just have to believe in it and you have to do it.
Was the learning of it easy?
Well, not really easy, because when you get a child, you actually face a new reality, and everything you thought about it, it's wrong. It's much more intense.
Yeah.
You really feel guilty a lot, because you feel physically connected to your child, and to leave your child and to do something else, that feels horrible. Horrible. Every mother wants to cry when she leaves the child for the first time. It's really difficult, actually.
Well, let me explain to me as a man, why would you feel this guiltiness? What happens in your body at that moment?
Well, the child grows inside, and then child is eating us. Like, I was breastfeeding for 1 year, and I was working during this first year. I started working when my kid was 3 months, but I kept on breastfeeding him. So we were one body, but at the same time I was already separating a lot from him because I had to go back to my work, and that was tricky, but that was also really beautiful. And I'm glad actually that I start to do it so early, because if you wait until your child is gonna turn 2 years old or 3 years old, he already so used to have you always around that he's gonna be traumatized when you leave. But actually if you do it directly, for sure, child is born, he know nothing. Everything what happens is normal for him. So if he's loved only by mother, he thinks this is normal, and then mother leaves and it's a dramatic moment. But if from the beginning he's loved by his mother, his father, grandparents, I don't know, maybe some friends, he knows that there are plenty of people who are around all the time and who share this responsibility and love with him. And then, you see, slowly you can disconnect a bit to do other things.
So it's about sharing responsibility and love.
Yeah.
You didn't start, I mean, how did you learn that? Was it natural for you?
Well, I learned by doing.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you left your kid and you went on tour or you went away?
For sure, for sure. Well, I was traveling a lot with him.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to choose. Usually like what happened is that woman start to work and she stopped breastfeeding and she stopped taking her kid with her because she thinks she has to choose. But I decided that I'm gonna have my kid always with me and I will work. It was my decision. So then it's a question of organization, but everything is possible. For sure there are solutions because I found one, for example. So in a way, I didn't have traumatic experience because I didn't abandon him to leave and to go. I had it both. That's the point. I had him with me. He was always with me. He was with me maybe more than with some women who stay at home because it's also about attention.
Yeah.
It's not about having your kid with you and actually watching a movie or chatting on the internet. It's like to be with your kid really fully. And actually when you allow yourself to do other stuff, to be with your friends, to work, to do other stuff, then when you come back to your kid, you're so into it that you give him double. Everybody are happy, you see, it's easy.
But you told me you were kind of wanting to keep control, trying to call, like, you went through a big process there.
Yeah, for sure. So now what I explain you is the result.
Yeah.
But for sure I passed through the moments when I felt that it's only me who can do it right. So as soon as I leave my kid with someone, of course the person deals with it differently. So for example, my husband, if I'm not there, he can go with my child to McDonald's and they both adore it, for example. But me, if I call and I'm like, okay, what did you eat today? And then they tell me sausages and I'm like, what? And I completely feel that because all my bio, all my green food, all my healthy stuff, it's completely abandoned, you know, and they do crazy stuff together. Or like, for example, me, I don't show my child no screens and no cartoons and nothing like that. He doesn't need it, huh? But for example, if I'm not there, my husband can really show him. And at the beginning I was freaking out because of that. But then I said to myself, Olga, you just stop calling and controlling.
Yeah.
He's an adult. He's his father. He has another point of view on things. That's okay. That's fine.
So you could teach me how to let go of control and right, that's beautiful.
Well, you just have to let it go. Actually, when you go out, you have to concentrate on other things. You should stop calling every fucking day.
Yeah.
I stopped doing it. I'm not calling him every day. I think that's really too much because it's as if I'm gone, but I don't let my child also to concentrate on other things. I want to call every day, so to be sure he's still loving me and he still needs me. You know?
So that is a personal process as a mother and also then as a worker to kind of reinvest your energy in the things you love beside your kid.
Totally. So I think when you come and you want to do something else, you want to be a great dancer or choreographer or whatsoever, you just have to learn how to really concentrate on it.
Yeah.
Not doing things but thinking, oh, how is my poor baby left alone? But like being there fully, doing it fully, and in a way let yourself forget. Let yourself forget that you're a mother. You're a woman, you do other stuff, you can forget about other things.
Yeah.
And when you're with your kid, you forget about your career, you don't even care anymore.
So you're telling me, if I understand right, you can still have your identity as a woman, sexy, desirable, having your own desires and passions, and at the same time being nurturing, present into constructing a stable family?
Completely. And I think it has to do also, I think by having child and work, I learn a lot that we can control our emotions a lot. We can control them. We can decide. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Being sad is a choice. Feeling guilty, it's a choice. Being happy is a choice. You know, falling in love, it's a choice. You can decide not to go for it.
Yeah.
You can decide not to go for being sad.
Yeah.
You can decide not to go for being guilty. You can decide to concentrate on something else and feel happy. And it's okay for everyone, finally.
That sounds great, and I really like it. I have a question connected more to your body, because you told me you don't have specific practices, which I find amazing. But still, I'm sure the body is involved in this process to be able to let go, to be able to deal with your fears or control. How much is the body present, and how do you deal with it?
Well, I don't have a specific practice in a way like whatever mental practice, but I exercise a lot. I do all kind of stuff. I go running, I go swimming. I think actually what is my belief is that you need to change. For me, the change is the clue.
Change activities?
Change activity, even physical activity. So, for example, if I do 1 week of workout, like exercising, at some point you feel you don't want to do it anymore, you're tired. So don't force yourself, do something else, go swimming, because your body is telling you what you want to do. One day you really want to stretch, so stretch. One day you feel that your muscles are too sore from whatever physical work, go running. It's different activity, you know, or do nothing, lay down and relax, or go to sauna, or do massage, you know.
So you really listen to what your body tells you?
Completely. I think it's very important.
You don't force? You don't? Is there no moment where you push it a bit more? You're like, okay, no, I need to go there? Or?
Yeah, of course, because I learn also to understand what is the difference between being lazy and being extremely tired. So I don't let myself to be too lazy. Sometimes I do. But if I'm really tired, I allow myself to do nothing. I allow myself the pleasure of nothing. It's also okay.
Which makes you maybe even more active when you go for it.
Completely, of course.
Are there some moments where those, what you call it, get it all, get both of them, the family life and the professional, passionate life, when those two come together? Suddenly, there's a moment where it becomes one because your family is coming to see you on stage, or somehow you don't ask yourself the questions, there's just two things?
It's a complicated question. I never thought about it, but
because for you now it's natural, right?
Yeah.
How does your tell us, how does your daily life looks like having both in the same time?
But
You wake up?
basically what happened is because I do it since my child is born, basically. You know, I asked my doctor when he was 1 month old, can I restart running?
Yeah.
And my doctor said, no. And I said, thank you. And I went running the next day. Because I said to myself, how he could know. It's only me who knows.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me if I'm in love. It's only me who knows. Nobody can tell me how is my body. It's only me who knows. So if I feel that I'm ready to do that, I do it. And so in a way what happened is that my family is completely involved in this since the beginning. So basically that's why I don't feel this separation anymore. Like my husband is used to it. Well, even before he was my husband, he already knew that I travel a lot. Many people ask me, but how does he accept that you're not at home a lot, not cooking for him all the time, not in his bed all the time? Well, because it was like that from the beginning. He already met me like that. He knew that I'm like that, so it's not a big surprise. And in a way, when child comes to the family, he discovers also which family he came to, you know. And if he discovers that his parents are like that, he just accepts it, you know. So they both know how much I love my job, how much is important for me. My child sometimes comes with me to the rehearsal. He can play around. He knows that he can make no noise, because otherwise I will not be able to bring him again, because it's a work situation.
Yeah.
And he understands that he is almost 5 years old. He's traveling with me since he's 3 months, and he's totally in it. He got it all.
No, it's fascinating. It makes me feel like wanting to have a family. But one more question. What do you see in the people that could not have both? Either the people that just, the women, sorry, that just invest fully in family or just fully invest in work. What do you see there, and what would you tell those people?
Well, I think it's really connected to the belief, because as a woman who is Ukrainian, but who lived for 10 years in France, I can really see this cultural difference. I can tell you that in Russia and Ukraine, women mostly believe that the main thing for the woman is to be a mother. And as soon as they got children, they really don't allow themselves to do something else, because it's also, well, it's because of the also social pressure in a way. Like if you leave your kid until the child is 3 years old and put him whatever in a kindergarten, it's as if you're like the worst mother on earth, and it's a really big guiltiness shared by all the women. And in France I feel different. In France I feel completely opposite. Actually, when you give birth, everybody immediately expects you to get your body back immediately, to get sexy immediately, to have sex with your man immediately, to restart working immediately, and everybody feel that it's completely okay to give your kid to assistant maternelle, to the child care, and to become the sexy woman again. You have to become the sexy woman again. But if you say, I want to breastfeed my child until he's 1 year old, everybody are surprised, and they're like, why are you doing this? But I'm like, listen, okay, my body is not a sexual object only. I do with my body whatever fuck I want. You are not there to tell me. And I think because I experienced this both completely different situations, that's how I learned that I can actually combine. And I can see really friends, women friends, who choose a career because I guess they thought that if they have a kids, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And I can see people who are getting to the age of being 40 or a bit more, and who suddenly realize that they cannot basically have family anymore, and who get deeply sad about that. Because I think if you concentrate on your job and you don't want to have kids and family, that's okay. That's really fine. You can do that. But if you concentrate like that on your work because of the fear, and then you discover you cannot have it anymore and you get deeply sad, that's a problem, you know.
That's the sadness we spoke about.
And the same thing which I could completely feel with many of my Ukrainian friends, who tells me how it feels that they were also going to university, studying something, but then they get married and for 3 years, 5 years, 6 years they stay at home. Then basically you have a huge fear also to go back. They really tell me, but Olga, we feel even the shoulders are like this. We are scared. Like we are even scared to open the door and to come back and to say, I am a person, I have a knowledge. They feel that everything became about caca and bottle and pampers and this.
Yeah.
You know? So I think the beauty of it for the nowadays mother is to learn to do it both, because I think that it's only nowadays that we can do both. Everything is organized in a way that we can do it.
Yeah. And now that you're doing it for how many years?
Well, my son is 5 years old this year, so it means being pregnant, it took me 1 year.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm into this for 6 years.
So now that you are practicing and thriving for the last 6 years, what is the new challenges you're facing in your life now?
Well, first of all, I want to get a second child to get how to organize with two. That must be marvelous, even more interesting.
Yes.
It's always, for me, I always compare it with jongling. I say, oh, we do really jongling with a baby and work. So with two, it must be even more exciting, right?
It's a better game.
Yeah, it's a better game.
Yeah.
And for sure, I want always also to go. For example, now I started this year to create my own pieces, and I want to concentrate more on that than to be a dancer for someone else. So basically, again, I want to have both. I want to have more kids and more responsibility in my work.
So you go to the next level in terms of a mother and in terms of a professional
It
dancer.
stimulates one in it. Yeah. But what is funny is also I feel that I want my child to be proud of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for that, I can do even more things in my job. Because I want him to be impressed by his mother, so I want to go higher. It's like with love, you want to get a better person.
Yeah. If you could speak to the Olga that is before all of this happened, let's say 10 years ago, what would you tell her?
I would tell her, don't be scared to say to people directly what you want. Don't be too shy. Don't think you need to pretend you're someone else. Just say it. Because, if person is not agree with you, maybe this is just not your person. It sounds like a cliche, but I remember that I was really not really saying what I want, but trying to get it by I don't know what. But I was too scared to just make it simple and clear and just put it on the table. And I would say to myself, come on. You know, it would just make things faster also.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you very much, Matthew. It's a really great conversation.
My pleasure too. Thank you for joining this interview, totally improvised here
Thank you guys.
in Vienna with Olga Dukhovnaya.
I feel all attention coming to us from you.
Well, this was Matthew Berner and Olga Dukhovnaya doing a little interview for Reconnect with Your Body, and you can connect to my Facebook website or online matthewberner.com. We'll be sharing more of knowledge of inspiring people that found a way to include all the possibilities in their bodies, in their mind and in their heart for a more simple and easy and satisfying life.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add for the people there or the women that might be interested in your work?
Get it both. Get everything you want. Don't think you have to choose. Get it all. Ciao, guys.
Ow, 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 ow. Reconnect with your body. Ow, 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 ow. Reconnect with your body.